Hello CraftDee Family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So Crafty. For today's DIY project, I will be creating 2 projects for your home using wood for a high-end look. Now I'll be transforming some Dollar Tree items into these fantastic containers and these plant bowls with stands, and these were super easy to make. Now I'll walk you through step by step showing you how to create these items, and the cost will only be about $5 for each project. Now, for convenience, I have provided the list of supplies and tools used to make these in the description box below. Now, I am so ready to share this tutorial with you, but before we start, I wanted to say hello and welcome back to my awesome subscribers and visitors to my channel. Now, if you are a new visitor to my channel today and love to create fun and easy DIY projects on a budget, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also click that notification bell so you will be the first to know when a new DIY tutorial is ready to share with you. So now let's jump right into the projects. Now the first project will be a plant bowl with stand. Now for this project, we'll start with 2 bowl vases from the Dollar Tree. And we'll also need 2 packs of the natural wood tumbling box from the Dollar Tree. Now we're going to start with staining our blocks, so I'm protecting my work surface and gathering up my supplies. And I'll be using my favorite stain, this Jacobian by Minwax. So just start by removing all of the blocks from the package, and you want to make sure you grab some gloves since this can get pretty messy. Now I will be staining all of my blocks, making sure to cover all of the sides. Now if you do get the package of blocks that have the multiple colors, you can definitely use them, and I think they would give the stand a unique look, but if you can, try to get all natural blocks to emulate this look. Now once these are all stained, you just want to sit them to the side to dry out completely. And now that they're dry, we can start assembling our base frame. Now since the frames will be different heights, we will assemble one frame 3 blocks high and 3 across. And then this other frame will be 6 blocks high and 3 across. And we'll be making 2 side supports for each set. One will have 3 blocks high with 1 block on the side, and the other one would have 6 blocks high with 2 blocks on the sides. Now I will be adhering these together with wood glue from the Dollar Tree. Now I'm also going to be using this carpenter square from the Dollar Tree to make sure that my pieces are nice and even. So we're going to start by adhering the first 3 blocks together as shown here. And then putting that 1 block on the side. And we're going to make 2 sets like this. And then we're going to adhere the 9 block base together as well. So then I'm going to adhere the side pieces for the other base, and then the big base for the other tall piece. And here are all the sets glued together, and you want to make sure they dry thoroughly. Now once they are all dry, we can start to put our stand together. I'm going to grab the pieces for my short stand, and I'm going to place them together in a T formation. And then I'm going to take that wood glue and I'm going to add it to the side supports, and I want to adhere it to the center of that base. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the tall stand. Now after these have started to bond, we're going to apply a block on each end of that support. And I'm just going to apply a dab of that wood glue on each one of the ends. And then I'm going to place one of those blocks on the very end of each piece. And we want to let these dry completely. Now, once they're dry, we can add our bowls. Now to these bowls, I want to add some of these white rocks that I purchased from the Dollar Tree a while back. And I'll also use some of these succulents that I purchased from the Dollar Tree as well. Now I'm just going to add some rocks to my bowls, and I want to add about half. And then I want to place a succulent in each one. I'm just trimming it down to make sure it fits into the rocks. Now once you've added both of your succulents, you are done with this project. And here is the completed project on display. I think they turned out fantastic. Now I really love the look of these succulents with the wood, and it really looks high-end. And I think that these plant stands would look great anywhere. You can put them on a desk, you can put them in the bath, on a vanity, or anywhere you want just a little extra color and spice. Let me know where you would place these in your home. Let me know in the comments. Now project number 2 is a 3-piece container set. Now for this project, we'll start with some jumbo craft sticks or quart mixing sticks as seen here. We'll also be using 3 containers with lids from the Dollar Tree in graduated sizes. Now I want to take those 3 containers and I'm going to use them as guides for cutting off my craft sticks. So I'm going to start by taking my craft sticks and want to cut them to size, but I want to make sure one of the ends is cut with a straight end, so this can be done with just a regular pair of scissors. Now once the straight end has been cut, I want to measure it against the height of the container and I want to mark a cutting line. And then all you have to do is when you cut that piece, you can use it as a template. You want to do this for about 20 sticks. Now you could cut this with a pair of scissors, you can use an X-Acto knife, or you can even use a fine blade saw. Do whatever is comfortable for you. And now that all the sticks are cut, we can start to adhere them to our containers. Now I'm just going to use hot glue for this. So I'm just going to start by applying hot glue to the back of the stick, or you can apply it directly to the container, and you want to bond it into place on the container. You want to make sure that this first stick is very straight because this will determine your layout for the rest of the container. And then you just want to continue to add the sticks to the container. You want to make sure that when you apply them that there are no gaps and everything is even. And just continue this pattern all the way around. And here are the sticks applied to the container in completion. So then you would want to repeat this for the remaining containers. And here's what they all look like. So now we can work on the lids. Now since we added wood around the containers, the lids will no longer fit with the rim. So we're simply going to remove and adjust the rim. We want to start by cutting one of the sides of the lid where the rim is, and then cutting around that inner edge with an X-Acto knife to separate it into 2 different pieces. And now that we have our pieces, we're going to adjust the size of that rim so it fits about 1/4 inch smaller than the edge of the lid. And once we determine that measurement, we're just going to start to cut, trim, and fit. And then once we have it exactly where we want it, we're just going to hot glue those ends together. And then once that hot glue dries, place your rim back on that lid, place it into place, and then we want to trace the shape onto the lid with a pencil. And then I'm going to take my hot glue and I want to apply a ring of glue on that traced circle you put on that rim. And then just place your rim into place on the glue. Then just for good measure, apply a ring of glue around the inside of the rim for security. Now once that's done, we're just going to repeat this process for the other 2 lids. So now we're going to start to apply those leftover craft stick pieces to the lid. Now you want to cut and apply them in a tile-like fashion. Now all I did with those excess pieces is I cut off both edges where they're both straight so they'll line up like tiles. Now when you apply and hot glue the pieces on top, you want to make sure you stagger those seams for a more natural look. And you also want to make sure that your craft stick overlaps the edge. Now we'll be trimming all this down, so overlapping the edge at any length is okay. Now once everything is applied and we want to trim it off, all we're going to use is a pair of scissors, or you can use an X-Acto knife and just trim off that excess in the shape of the lid. And once this is done, we're just going to test fit it to make sure it looks okay, and it looks good. And then we're going to repeat the process for the other 2 lids. Now once all 3 lids are done, we can move on to the painting. So now I'm going to be painting the inside of my container and the lids with this black acrylic paint. Now this is completely optional, but I think it really gives it a clean and finished look. So we're just going to apply 1 coat of that acrylic paint to the inside cover first. Now we want to make sure we get the inside area and the outside where the lid is, and we want to make sure we don't get any paint on the wood because we will be staining that later. Now we also want to make sure we paint the inside of our containers as well. Now once everything is nice and dry, we can move on to staining our containers. So I'm just going to grab that covering again that we used earlier and grab our gloves and my Jacobian stain. So then I'm just going to start to stain all around the container. You want to make sure you get in all those creases and between those sticks, and make sure that a nice good even coat goes on the containers. And here is the container fully stained, and just repeat this for the remainder of the containers. And once the containers are done, you can do those lids. And here is that beautiful finish. Now you just want to let these sit to dry. Now since that top edge still shows a little bit of the print, I'm going to cover it with a little bit of that black acrylic paint to finish these off. And now that everything is dry, I'm going to remove those lids, and I want to apply knobs to the lids. Now I picked these up from my local Habitat for Humanity for 50 cents. Now to center it, I'm just going to measure and find the center, and I want to mark a little hole to drill. And then I'm going to take my drill with a 3/16 bit and drill a hole where I want to place my knob. And then I'm just going to take my knobs and my screws, stick the screw into the inside, and then I'm going to apply my base and knob and screw that into place. And once you do that, that lid is complete. Just repeat this for the other lids. And here are my completed containers. Oh my goodness, I love how these turned out. Now when I saw these containers in Dollar Tree, I knew they would make the perfect 3-piece set, and they really turned out better than I thought. Now that Jacobian stain looks great on these craft sticks, and these thrifted knobs look great with them. You would never know that these were Dollar Tree gift boxes. Now these containers have plenty of room and can be used for so many things. I had so much fun creating these projects. You gotta let me know which one of these two was your favorite today. Listen, if you love DIYs on a budget, give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Make sure that you're following She's So Crafty EE on Facebook for the latest news, sneak peeks, and giveaways. Thank you so much for visiting and checking out my tutorial today. If you like videos like these and don't want to miss the next one, make sure you're subscribed by clicking that subscribe button below and turning on that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.